Collab. This is Miss Jerri, and you've got Kameel with Rig on Wheels, and Miss LaShawn with We Are Business Solutions. We had a little technical difficulty this evening, but hey, we're not gonna let that stop us. Y'all hear me okay over there?
We
Yeah,
do.
you really
Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're not going to be on long this evening, but what we're doing, a little bit about what we're doing, and then we'll kind of get into some introductions as to who we are, what we do in this trucking industry, and just kind of go into a little bit more detail because you're going to be seeing us and some of our partners in the industry every Tuesday at this time. And hey, I guarantee you next Tuesday when we come, we're going to have all this technical stuff worked out. Okay. So we will be live next week. Um, so basically what we're doing is we bring each of us bring a different aspect into the trucking industry. Myself, I am a recruiter. I work with anybody from your megas all the way to your small 1 and 2 truck operators. I do business support, and some other different things within the trucking industry for my drivers. And then Kameel, I'll let her introduce herself as well as Miss LaShawn, and then we'll kind of talk about our collaboration that we're working on.
okay. Thanks. I am Camille, owner and recruiter at Rig on Wheels. Very similar to Jerry Vaughn. I also recruit drivers for companies, whether it is the smaller companies all the way to your bigger companies, and I also help support different brokers and also just supporting all the businesses, whether it's the small or the large businesses. All right, Miss LaShawn.
All right. My name is LaShawn Robinson with We Are Business Solutions, and I set up owner operators with their authority. I also maintain their quarterly compliance, their annual compliance, and that consists of the IFTA that they report on a quarterly basis, and then I'll do their business and personal tax return.
Excellent.
Jerry, back to you.
Can you hear us, Jerry? Nope.
Okay, let's see here. All right, so a little bit about what we have going on in this trucking industry. So with each of us, you've heard each of us and what we kind of bring to the table. We've also got 2 additional partners that are in the collaboration with us, and basically what they do is they bring the trucking side, the trucking knowledge side. And so that's Jake, and then that's Rob. And so they bring, like I said, the trucking knowledge side, the trucking, securing the truck, acquiring the trucks for drivers in the industry as well. And so these guys have their drivers themselves, and so they came into the industry with that mindset, that knowledge that they want to eventually get their own truck. And so that hustle, that grind, that mindset, that was one of the things that they ended up doing. Now one of them have gone from 1 truck to 5 trucks, purchased his 5th truck within the past week, and the other is on their 2nd truck. And so what we want to do as a collaboration is be able to bring you everything from the compliance aspect of trucking all the way to the truck purchase, the truck acquisition, as well as the truck seating the drivers for your truck. So we have like a full circle. It's literally like a one-stop shop when it comes to this trucking collaboration. So we're gonna talk about a few things tonight. It's going to be very, very brief. And then we're going to begin to do this on a weekly basis for you guys. And we've got a lot of great things coming up in the future for you as well. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of go into was Ms. LaShawn has the insight. She's our subject matter expert on the IFTA that's coming up, the filing that's required. I think it's coming up at the end of this month, right? Tell us a little bit about
Correct.
that, Ms. LaShawn.
Okay. Well, IFTA is your fuel use taxes, and IFTA is reported quarterly. It's due the month after the quarter. So we're coming up to that deadline right now. That deadline is actually at the end of this month. If you're running a commercial vehicle that's over 26,001 pounds, that has 2 axles, then you are required to report IFTA. If you have 3 or more axles, you are required to report IFTA. If you have a combination weight that exceeds 26,000 pounds, you're required to report IFTA. Right now, there's a grace period. If you have applied for your IFTA decals as of December 31st, then you have a 2-month grace period to receive those decals. So this is the time to get your 2021 IFTA decals. The other thing is, what you want to do is make sure that you're running your ELDs, because that's required. Vehicles that were manufactured from 2000 and newer are required to have the ELDs. And what the ELD is going to do is to give you your mileage per state. You need your mileage per state in order to do your IFTA, and you need your fuel receipts. So again, remember, we're at the end of the month for reporting IFTA, so you don't get fined and you stay in compliance.
That's right. That's right. And so, excuse me. I know we have a lot of our own operators, particularly ones that Kameel and I work with and talk to. It's time. They need to know that it's time to get that done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So the other thing that we wanted to talk about, it just opened up this past week, is the PPP and the EIDL. I know Kameel has a lot of clients that she's been, customers that she's been working with and advising on that. And so, Kameel, can you share a little bit about insight on what's going on with that?
Yes, yes. So the federal government is definitely trying to help all of the small businesses. So what happened was January 11th, PPP opened up for different businesses, and it allowed for certain business that last time could not. The big fight was that a lot of your bigger corporations, even though they're small businesses, because all they needed was under 500 employees, but they were able to grab onto the money faster than folks that had, quote unquote, the regular small businesses. So what they did was open up that for your community financial institutions, so your CFIs, and at last week. Okay, so now today, this morning is when they opened it up for all of the rest of the institutions. So whether it's your first time with the PPP or whether it is your second time, and if it's your second time, the rules are a little bit different. You have to choose whichever quarter that you want to compare to your 2019s, but it has to have at least your gross receipts, so your gross revenue has to be a 25% decline from 2019 in order for you to be eligible. Something else that just came down the pipe is you have to have already had your forgiveness done. So loan forgiveness is something that they kept rewriting, and they finally came up with all the verbiage for it. But that needed to be forgiven, as I understand it, in order for your round 2, you to be able to be funded on that. So that's given as well. So that's something different than at first what they were saying. But as you know, the verbiage changes because the entire point is small business and not make it difficult. But also you had to, so now it's not the small businesses that have 500 less employees. It's you have to prove that you have 300 less employees.
Okay.
So those are a little bit different variables in that, but it's two different type of ice cream flavors. You got the regular first round PPP. If you didn't get it the first time, you're able to get it now, and then your second round, and then your EIDL. I know I'm making sure I'm saying it because I get that.
You be saying EILD. I done heard you say EILD.
Yeah, I go all the way
But you
around.
got it right this time. You got it right this time.
Right, the EIDL, they haven't come out with all of the terminology and everything for that yet. But just remember, your credit score has to be a 580 or above. So if it's not that, go ahead and try working on your credit because that will make it be declined. And then once you decline, then it's the appeal process is a lot more paperwork involved. So try to get it correct the first time.
The first time. Right. That makes a lot of sense. Definitely. Because you definitely don't want to be going through that appeal process.
Yes, because the paper it's a lot different than the paperwork that's involved is a lot more. And it doesn't matter what the denial was for. So let's credit score was 579 and you needed a 580. Just wait until your credit score is above that, and it's the one that they pull for SBA.
Gotcha. Well, real good stuff, because you definitely want to be able to get those funds that the government is offering to be able to help your business out.
Yes.
So what we've kind of talked about, the IFTA, the PPP, the EIDL, that has been like more, our owners, our small carriers, things like that. But this next topic that I want to go in, it's going to cover both sides. You follow me? And so it's the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. So that was implemented last January. Everybody should be registered. I do have a couple of drivers that I've recently talked to that didn't even know about it. And I'm just like, look, you gotta, where are you working, first of all, that they not got you registered in the clearinghouse. But I did see recently that the fine for the drug clearinghouse and a violation in that has gone up. It's gone up to like $5,800 from like 2,500. I think it was what it used to be. But that's just saying that they're not playing. They're not playing with these drug clearinghouse violations. So it's not just drivers, but it's carriers, it's the medical officers that's reviewing the drug violations and things like that. If they're not reporting them correctly, they're fining everybody. So it's very imperative that all of our drivers are registered in the clearinghouse. Now, I want Ms. LaShawn for you to kind of go into a little bit more detail from the owner side, the consortium side.
Okay, a little bit about that is, as an owner operator, you actually have to sign up with the clearinghouse as an employer. If you're just a CDL driver, then you go in and you sign up with the clearinghouse as a driver. As an owner operator, if you own your truck, you're running up under your own DOT number, then that's when you go in and you register as an employer. The other thing is, if you're an owner operator, then you have to be set up with a consortium per federal motor carrier.
Right.
And that consortium allows you, if you're the CDL driver or any CDL drivers that you have working with you, to be a part of a random drug test. So that's the purpose of the consortium. Those are two different things, but you're required to be under the rules and regulations of both of them. So you have to register with the clearinghouse and you have to sign up with the consortium.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I recently had she had her own operation, but then she gave her trucks up and she wanted to go and run under a company, like be a company driver. And so in order for me to get her on with that company, she had to go and get copies of the consortium, like the whole,
Right.
documents for the entire year. That company wanted that in order for her to get hired. So she had to be able to prove that that company had did whatever in the consortium that needed to be done before she could get hired with the company. So going from owner op, running your own operation in the consortium, to back to company driver, that's something that our drivers need to make sure that they take care of, and they have those that information, those documents.
Right. I just spoke with a young lady today and she wasn't sure if she was set up with a consortium. So she had me to speak with somebody else that works for her company. And so she said, well, we're getting drug tests done. I say, but is it a consortium where you are having random drug tests
Right.
submitted to you for those drivers that's a part of that consortium? And she couldn't answer that. I said, so
Wow.
I'm not sure if you're a part of a consortium, and there's a hefty fine and fee if you are not a part of a consortium. They will shut your authority down if you're not a part of a consortium. And they actually told me that they're in the process of doing their new interest safety audit. Apparently, the auditor has not looked at their paperwork because there are certain things that you have to submit for that new safety audit, new interest safety audit. There are certain things that you have to submit to them pertaining to the consortium.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with this. I'm waiting on her to send me some emails so that I can verify that it is a consortium or not a consortium. And if not, of course, I'll get them set up so that they'll be in total compliance.
Okay. All right.
Our purpose of us is to help both the owner operator with the 1, 2, 500 trucks, and then also the company driver, so they can understand what is going on as well, because they don't want to get caught up in that as well, because we've come across where some companies don't have things set up, and if the company doesn't have things set up, then when you go to move to your next company, it makes it a lot more difficult, if at all. Both have to match together on both sides. You're the employee plus your employer.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then the all drivers need to know that they're responsible, not the company. They are responsible for signing up with the clearinghouse, period. It's like a 5-minute process for them to sign themselves up. It's different for the owner operator. It's a little bit more intense. But for the driver, it's 5 minutes, literally, to go into the clearinghouse and sign yourself up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like Kameel, piggyback on what Kameel said, that's like literally what this collaboration is, what this trucking collaboration is. It's a full circle. It's us being able to help that owner who's already set up, who needs to get in compliance, needs to help seat their trucks, get drivers to seat their trucks, and also that new driver who is just entering the industry and wants to eventually get their own truck. So we work on and help you and mentor you throughout this whole trucking process, because it's a process, and everybody should have that mindset that I don't always want to be that company driver. I want to at some point maybe do my own thing. And if not, that's okay. You still need some kind of guidance throughout this whole process. Um, but next week, next Tuesday, same time, 7 o'clock, it will be myself, Kameel, LaShawn, the guys, we bringing them on as well because they bring a lot with regards to the acquisition of the truck and their company drivers. They've driven themselves, but they also got their own trucks as well. So, want to introduce you to them. Get this whole thing kicked off, and just spread this knowledge. Spread this knowledge that we have here. We got knowledge from all aspects, from the recruiter side, from the compliance side, from the driver side. So it's just a whole collaboration that we all working on. Anything y'all want to share before we sign off here?
No, I'm definitely happy, and I can't wait to continue to talk to you guys on here as well as when you all call us or DM us or however you get in contact with us.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
Mr.
excited
Sean.
as well. I'm looking forward to all of the comments and the questions that you all are going to ask us because we definitely have all the answers for you. So we're looking forward to a long-term business relationship with each and every one of you all that need our assistance.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all patience in all the technical difficulties, but hey, we're gonna get it popping. We'll be right here next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Bye.